Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Monday crafty coffee break. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Let me look at my computer and make sure it has caught up. There it is. Looks like we're close enough. Today, I am going to show you some cards I made using the Cutest Crew, say that fast, Stamp and Die Bundle, which is only available to demonstrators right now as a pre-order. But if you join me as a demonstrator, one of the perks of being a demonstrator is you get to order things ahead of time so that we get to play with them. One of the things included is this stamp positioner, which I played with, excuse me, making these cards. And if I have a few minutes at the end, I'll show you what I did. So remember, if you want to join, it's $99 and you get to pick all the product you would like. I have catalogs available still if you would like one. They're good till April. And then this is the stamp set we're going to be using. Look how cute it is. So we have some little birds, some dogs, some kitties. Then we have their little footprints. So I played with this set and I made 3 cards that I'm going to show you today. So let's get started. If you're watching, say hi. So here's the first card we're going to make today. Simple, pretty simple. I use Secret Sea cardstock, cloud cover, and very vanilla. And I stamped it in Secret Sea. It's a very simple card. Okay, I should talk more in the morning before I go live. Card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have 3 pieces, and these measure 4 by 1 3/4, and we're going to just place them across the front of the card like this. And then we'll stamp the kitties in our Secret Sea. So let me glue these down first. How's everybody doing? It's a beautiful sunny day here. Snow is melting. It's supposed to be in the 40s. It's like a heat wave. Hi, Marie. So let's get this first one on. And I notice if I look at my sample, I need to go just a smidge higher. There's that one. And then we'll take our very vanilla piece. And we'll just butt it right up next to that cloud cover piece. Just like that. And then the last cloud cover piece. Right up to the bottom. Like that. Probably should have more glue in that corner. There's the front of the card. Pretty simple. Straightforward. So then we'll take our Secret Sea ink. And we'll stamp our kitties. We're going to do them just above the line here. Here's our first one. My card picked up just a little bit. And then this one, we're going to overlap the line. I'm going to hold that down so it doesn't pop up on me. So we're going to come down just a little bit there. kitties here at the bottom. Look, aren't they cute? Such a cute little set. And then we're going to stamp Have the Best Day, also in Secret C. And we'll put that right about there. Probably crooked. Well, not too bad. Not too bad. And look, just like that, card number 1 is done. Let's stick a few dots on there. These are the Moody Palette glossy dots. Take our Take Your Pick tool, and let's put some dots on there. Just give it a little, it's kind of plain, kind of a plain Jane card. All right, sometimes they're so hard to pick up. Some there, and we'll do some right down here. Come on, there we go, like that. And there we go. There is card number 1. Pretty simple, cute. Oh, and then, did I do anything inside? No, let's just stick this in here real quick with our inside, which is always 4 by 5 1/4. And then this card is complete. Ready to mail off to somebody to give them some happy mail. Everybody likes to get something fun in the mail. There. There's our first cards. Our next card is using these cute little birds. Aren't they cute? And I did them in Melon Mambo. The card base is Melon Mambo. I used the Everyday Arches, and then I cut this strip from the embossing folder called Lovely Stripes, just to give them a little perch. I colored them in Melon Mambo, so let's get started on this card. Again, we start with our card base, which is 8.5 by 11, scored at 4 1/4. Set that up there. And then I used the second to the largest, I believe, Everyday Arches for this. And we're going to see how good I can do on camera, stamping the little butterflies in the arch. We'll see. Get some smudges on there. Okay, let's give it a whirl. We'll see how I can do. Not too bad. Probably could come down. If I come down one more, it'll be really uneven. I should have, no, I probably didn't space them well enough, but that'll work. That'll work for now. Let me set this aside for a second. And let's get our little birds out. It's our little birds. I glued the little perch down here. And then I put the birds up on dimensionals. But let's go ahead and color our birds first. I'm using light and dark Melon Mambo. Let me start with the dark. So we're going to do a dark wing. On both of these birds. I don't know if I've ever seen a Melon Mambo bird, but, you know, when you make cards, you can do whatever you want. And then we'll come back to that. And we'll color our birds in light melon mambo. Do you like to color? I like to color. These markers make it really fun. I'm going to do this bird. And then this bird, he's gonna, what color am I? So he's got a little light wing. And the rest of him will be dark. Oh, I need to do his little tail feathers were light too. Let's get him colored. Usually I'm sitting down and doing this, so. Let's get his little tail feathers. And then his beak is in Dark Daffodil Delight, all their little beaks. And then the grass is in Granny Apple Green. Like that. I think I need that again, so we'll leave that out. So to make it easier to stick this down, I just used some seal. Because it does have some perforations in it. So let's stick this up here. You notice my internet keeps going in and out. I don't know what to say about that. And we'll put some dimensionals behind our little bird. Birds, like that. I know, probably if I used my take me pick tool, those would come off faster, but that's all right. We're going to stick our little birds right here in the center. And then the little feet. I'll stamp their little feet. Going that way. And that way. Like that. Let me close that before we have a disaster. Set that aside. And then I did put the arch up on dimensionals. These are the stickiest dimensionals. Oh no, so I got the back off. They're very stuck to this. And one more. See if I can do this faster. That one already had those off. Okay. I have this little thing that's supposed to hold those, but it doesn't stick. Oh, I missed one. Okay. All right. And let's stick this to the front of our card. Oh man. And we'll see if I can do it. I forgot to stamp the happy birthday. Oh, I might be able to do it okay. There's no dimensional right there, so. I think I can get it. It's pretty flat right there. Look at that. I don't like that little spot there. Let's see if I can get rid of it. Look at that. Perfect. So there's card number 2. I just stuck my finger in the ink. Stuck my finger right in that ink pad. So there's card number 2. Oh, let's put the inside in. Did I do anything? Nope. Sometimes I do some little stamping on the inside. Let's put the inside in. And once again, we have another card. Somebody would probably love to see these bright little birds on their birthday. There's card number 2. I messed up on that one. Card number 2. Let's move on to our last card. It's a little more involved. So I saved it for last, but look how cute it is. It's kind of almost similar to an example in the catalog. I used Pool Party and I forgot the name of that die. This is Spotlight on Nature, and then I just kind of banner cut the Pool Party. Stamped the feet in Early Espresso, the sentiments in Early Espresso. And then on this one, I stamped the feet, and I used the stamp positioner to do that. So maybe I'll do that and show you how I did that. But what's fun is the technique I learned how to stamp and cut these out. So when you cut out your dogs, you know, this is the die cut. And what you do on the stamp positioner is you lay that on the stamp positioner, and then you take your die cut piece. Well, first you stick your stamp in here, pick it up with the positioner, then put your die cut piece in there, and then stamp it, and it's almost always perfect, right on the money. So nice perk to the join offer. Let me get all my pieces out of there. Well, my internet's just having a heyday today. I can see it going in and out, in and out. Not much I can do about that. So this was a little die cut. Oops. And I did it on adhesive sheets so that I could just stick the flowers down without trying to mess with some glue. We're going to color the little puppies. Let me get all my little flowers. That's for the inside. Hopefully I didn't lose any flowers in the process of doing this, but I don't think so. Let me get my Stamp and Pierce mat here, because I'm going to stamp off a little bit, and I don't want to have to clean my glass mat. So let's stamp the paws first. Where are my paws? Oh, I gotta switch blocks. These are little paws, and we're going to use Early Espresso ink. And we're just going to randomly stamp paws all over these pieces like this. You want to turn your stamps. Like that. You're not really going to see a lot of it, but just to get an idea that we're dealing with a bunch of puppies. And one more. Well, that was lucky. All right. There's those. Where's my tables? Oh, I want to clean the paws off so that I can show you how I did them on the stamp positioner. Okay, that's done. And then next, let's go ahead and stamp our circle with our sentiment. That just says, just a little hello. Stamp. Good thing about a circle is you never really can be crooked. There we go. And we can get rid of this messy looking thing for now. Let's go ahead and color our little puppies. So the first one I colored in Smoky Slate, light and dark. And I did some little shadowing, just a little bit of, just to give it a little dimension there. These are a little quicker to color. I apologize for my internet. Hopefully I don't lose you. I can see it blinking out on me. There's our first little puppy. The next one I colored in Pecan Pie. Did you celebrate Valentine's Day? Did you have a nice Valentine's Day? I don't know, Marie. I made my post. Maybe it's too early in the morning for them. Oh, I do much better sitting down and coloring. Maybe they like to sleep in. And the next puppy I did in Crumb Cake. Do a couple little shadows here. This was a time that kind of works good for me. Kind of keeps me on my toes. Being retired, I have a tendency to get a little lazy. You know, I thought it'd be a good time, maybe before people get their day started, sit and drink their coffee and just watch something creative. And the last one I did in light gray granite, excuse me. Well, I appreciate you watching, Marie. Of course, it does make me a little more nervous when there are people watching. But like I always told my kids, practice makes perfect. So the more I do this, the more comfortable I'll be. Yeah, I mean, I don't get up super late, but I don't get up early. I don't get up when my husband leaves for work, but I get up shortly after he leaves. But as the weather gets warmer and it gets lighter sooner, it's easier to get up because it's just so hard to get up when that was Granny Apple Green. It's just so hard to get up when it's still dark outside. I don't know. Dark and cold. Our snow is melting. Should be in the mid 40s today. I'm so excited. So that was Peach Pie. This one is Highland Heather. I did Dark Daffodil Delight. I also did that to color their little dog tags. And the last flower is Bubble Bath, Dark Bubble Bath. And one of them had their tongue sticking up. There's his little tongue. And there's our puppies, all colored. Now we just need to put the card together. Here's our card base. And I'm going to glue down this piece. Let me get those out of my way. Thanks, Marie. Glue that down. There. And these we just glued down also. I'm going to glue all three of these, and hopefully I don't stick my arm in them. And then they're just kind of, I just kind of stuck them out on there, whatever which way I felt like. Kind of angle them. I mean, if you kind of messed up your stamping, you could cover up that a little bit. And the last one. Okay, let's press that down. The sentiment and the puppies went up on dimensionals. So let's do that. And put a couple on here. Am I forgetting anything? I'm getting better about remembering what I'm doing. So we could we can stick this on here. Over to the side here. And we'll put our puppies on the bottom. Aren't they so cute? And then these little flowers. Like I said, I used adhesive sheets on the back because they're so little. It'd be kind of a nightmare to use liquid glue and stick them down. And these will... Yeah, I don't know if it's Facebook that keeps kicking out or if it's my internet. I don't know. Shouldn't. We pay good money for that internet. Technology can be so fickle. Let's get a little one out of there. And then tear all the paper off that one. Where do I want to stick this? This is a yellow one. Stick it up there. That's why it's not sticking. Let's get that up. All right. All right. And then, oh, stuck to my finger. Then I did a few in Highland Heather. Just give it a little more color. But you can see with the adhesive sheets, it's way easier than, well, sometimes peeling off the adhesive sheet isn't so easy, but there you go. I think it's still easier than trying to glue it. Let's do one more little one. Right there. And there's our second one. Now the inside, how I did the paws so that they're all equal like that, I used the stamp positioner. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got time. I've got time. And if you don't have time, you can come back and watch the replay. Here's the stamp positioner. So I want my paws to start right about here. So I want to make sure I'm on the positioner. I found that as I played with this that sometimes I had to stamp too far over. So here, let's do that. And then using the magnets, make sure my card is straight. And I want that up just a touch, not so close to the edge. So you stick this on there, press down, and it picks up your stamp like that. And then I'm going to open my early espresso ink. I'm going to ink the paws, and you stick it back on here. This is going to be a little slow, so I apologize because I'm still not real fast at this. And then you just press down, and there's your paws. Then you move over. Hopefully I moved over. I got them positioned good enough. Oh yeah, see that? And then you press, and then you pause. How fun is that? I can do this a lot easier than trying to line it up by my eyeballs. That's for sure. Oh, you're not cutting out, Marie? Maybe it's fast enough it doesn't show. So let's see, should I go one more? It's going to go, yeah, let's do it. It's going to go off the end of the card a little bit. But how fun is that? Let's get that out of the way for now. And there. Evenly, all the way across the bottom. So let's glue this inside our card. Not that one. And there you have it. Oops. Got caught on the puppies. There you go. So there's card number 3, card number 2, card number 1. So simple, cute little stamp set. Like I said, it's only available right now to demonstrators, but if you join my team, you can order this. You can do all the pre-orders. like you've been a demonstrator for years. So let me take a minute here just for fun and show you how this works. Let me take this stamp off here. So you have to die cut this first, and then you make sure I have that. Oh, I got ink on there, but this is just for practice, so it's not going to be perfect. And those are the cats. I need the dogs, or do I have a cat? Let me see if I have a cat cut out. Oh, that's the dogs. I think this is the cats. Yeah, this is the cats. So what you do is you take your stamp and set it inside the die cut. Except you probably want to make it straight, like that. And then you take your positioner. I didn't. You try to get it between it's easier if it's in the center. Like this. And you pick it up. I just don't know if I have a cat cut out. So you pick it up like this. Oops. And then you take your die cut of your cats, which I don't have one, so just pretend this is the cats. And you stick it in here, you know, you line it up. I didn't cut out another cat. I'm so sorry. Let me see. So pretend this isn't stamped. Then you would stick your blank die cut in here where it is, you know, this would have been lined up. And then you just put this in here, line it up, push it down, and then you get your stamps perfect. So it's a fun little tool. I'm getting better at it. I'm still a little awkward, but it's getting better. So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Marie, for joining me this morning. Like I said, it's a cute stamp set with the cats, the birds, and the dogs. I hope you have a great day and a great week, and I'll see you next Monday. Thank you. Bye.